Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. BJP-led National Democratic Alliance wins world's largest elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails people's verdict, calls the third consecutive term for any government in 6 decades a historical feat. Prime Minister hits the ground running, sets the tone for the third term of NDA, assures that economic reforms will continue unabated. World leaders congratulate Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party on winning the 2024 general election for the third time in a row. And on to the details now. The Bharatiya Janata Party-led National Democratic Alliance, or the NDA, is ready to serve the nation for a third consecutive term with a historic win in the general elections. BJP-led NDA won 292 seats, while the Indy Alliance got 233 seats. 18 seats went to others. A party or a coalition needs at least 272 of the 543 seats to be in power at the centre. Counting of votes was held on Tuesday for 542 seats, while BJP had already won Surat constituency unopposed. And after achieving resounding victory in general elections, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed confidence that NDA will form the government for a third consecutive term and said that it will take big decisions in third term while striking hard against corruption. He was addressing his party workers at the BJP headquarters in New Delhi.
डिजिटल इंडिया और टेक्नोलॉजी ने करप्शन के अनेक रास्ते बंद किए हैं, लेकिन ये भी सच है कि करप्शन के खिलाफ लड़ाई दिनों दिन कठिन हो रही है। राजनीतिक स्वार्थ के लिए जब करप्शन का महिमा मंडन शुरू हो जाए और इसमें निर्लज्जता की सारी हदें पार हो जाए, तब करप्शन को बहुत ताकत मिल जाती है। इसलिए तीसरे कार्यकाल में एनडीए सरकार का बहुत ज्यादा जोर हर तरह के करप्शन को जड़ से उखाड़ फेंकने का होगा।
Prime Minister thanked his fellow countrymen and Election Commission of India for the successful elections in the world's largest democracy. While thanking BJP workers for their sweat and hard work, PM said this inspires him to work for the country and many big decisions will be taken in the third term, he said.
मैं देश के कोने कोने में उपस्थित बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं को कहूंगा, आपकी मेहनत मोदी को निरंतर काम करने की प्रेरणा देता है। हम भारतीय मिलकर चलेंगे, देश को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। तीसरे कार्यकाल में देश बड़े फैसलों का एक नया अध्याय लिखेगा और ये मोदी की गारंटी है।
As we heard, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed party workers at the Bharatiya Janata Party headquarters after NDA win in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Talking about the next era, the Prime Minister said that India will emerge as the third largest economy.
आने वाला समय ग्रीन एरा है, हरित युग का है। आज भी हमारी सरकार की नीतियां प्रगति, प्रकृति और संस्कृति के समागम की है। हम ग्रीन इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन पर निवेश बढ़ाएंगे, ग्रीन एनर्जी हो या फिर ग्रीन मोबिलिटी, हम भारत को सबसे आगे ले जाएंगे। भारत को दुनिया की तीसरी बड़ी इकोनॉमी बनाने के लिए एनडीए सरकार पूरी शक्ति से काम करेगी।
Well, the world leaders also congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party on winning the 2024 general election for the third time in a row. Maldives President congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP and BJP-led NDA on the success in the 2024 Indian general election for the third consecutive term. He said, "I look forward to working together to advance our shared interest in pursuit of shared prosperity and stability for our two countries." Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe congratulated PM Modi and expressed desire to work closely with him. Nepal Prime Minister Prachanda congratulated PM Modi on the electoral success of his party-led alliance. He expressed happiness over the completion of the world's largest democratic exercise. Bhutan's Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay also congratulated Modi and NDA for the historic third consecutive win. He expressed eagerness to work closely to further strengthen the relations between the two countries. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi for winning a third term in office. She expressed her commitment to work closely with the Indian government to strengthen the relationship between India and Italy. And Denmark's ambassador to India, Freddie Swan, congratulated PM Modi for historic victory in the general elections.
I see this as a very strong victory for the Indian democracy. Democracy of India stands stronger than ever. The voters have spoken. We have had very, very good 10 years with Honorable Prime Minister Modi, and now he is in his third term. And our relationship will just evolve along the already agreed lines. We have the Green Strategic Partnership, so we'll just move ahead with that.
And Prime Minister Modi also said that India will write a new chapter of big decisions after his coalition win in historic third term. With this historic win, Modi is going to be one of the most senior leaders in the world, even when most of the world leaders are struggling to get elected twice in today's scenario. In his victory speech at his party's headquarters in New Delhi, PM pledged to push forward with the agenda to work at faster pace in electronics, semiconductors and defense manufacturing.
India as a country has made its distinct mark on the global stage under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. PM has supported and pushed reforms propelling the economy forward. Now the target he has set is making the Indian economy third largest in the world from its current fifth place. One of the major aims of his diplomacy has been the UN Security Council reforms, with India continuously pressing for a wider representation in the permanent member circle. India's claims have been supported by many nations. PM Modi constantly aspires to make India as the legible and strong voice of the developing world. India has stood up to the voice of concerns of Global South. It hosted 2 Voice of Global South summits last year to bolster its claim as a representative for Asian, African and South American nations. India's holding of G20 under its presidency last year was widely appreciated. Under Modi's leadership, the African Union bloc became a permanent member of the G20. Washington called its ties with India as the defining partnership of the 21st century when US President Joe Biden hosted Modi for a state dinner last year. India is a member of Quad Alliance, which includes the United States, Japan and Australia, and counters China's rising influence in the Asia-Pacific region. Earlier this year, Washington approved a $4 billion sale of advanced drones to India in order to strengthen India's defense capabilities. BRICS and SCO are other major groupings of the world that India is a part of. India and Russia call each other all-weather friends. Defying intense international pressure, India stood firm and charted its own course during the Ukraine-Russia conflict. India took a principled stand of condemning all forms of terror when the Hamas terrorists attacked Israel on October 7th last year and defended Israel's right to take all measures for its defense. Yet India also cautioned against rising humanitarian costs of the conflict. PM Modi also shares a good relationship with French President and hopes to expand multi-billion-dollar defense deals with France, including the sale of Rafale fighter jets and Scorpion-class submarines. India's ties with Middle Eastern countries has also seen a significant improvement. India's strategic significance in Asia is undeniable, and the outcome of its elections can echo globally. With one of the world's largest populations and a robust economy, India's political scene not only shapes regional dynamics but also exerts influence on the international stage. Aarti Rana, DD India.
An opposition India alliance won 233 seats in general elections. Humbly accepting the public opinion, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge on Tuesday stated that the results of general election are the victory of democracy.
ये जो रिजल्ट है जनता की रिजल्ट है और ये जनता की जीत है और लोकतंत्र की जीत है.
While addressing a press conference, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi emphasized on how the people of India will stand together and fight for their constitution. Ironically, this proclamation came at a time when his own party has often been accused of internal rifts and factionalism. Take a look.
हिंदुस्तान की जनता अपने संविधान के लिए एक साथ खड़ी होकर लड़ जाएगी और यह सच साबित हुआ. मुझ में भरोसा था और मैं हिंदुस्तान की जनता से दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं. आपने संविधान को बचाने का पहला और सबसे बड़ा कदम ले लिया है.
And the general election results of several significant victories and upsets across various constituencies. Take a look at the biggest winners and notable losses in the elections 2024. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has successfully retained his Varanasi constituency in Uttar Pradesh, defeating Congress candidate Ajay Rai. Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, triumphed in Gandhinagar against Congress Sonam Ranambhai Patel by 7,44,716 votes, the second highest victory margin in Gujarat. Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, secured the Lucknow seat for the third consecutive term, overcoming Samajwadi Party candidate Ravidas Mehrotra. Kangana Ranaut made a remarkable political debut contesting on a BJP ticket from Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. She won against Congress's candidate Vikramaditya Singh. Rahul Gandhi recorded a major victory in Rai Bareilly, defeating BJP's Dinesh Pratap. He also won Wayanad seat over his nearest rival Annie Raja of the CPI. KL Sharma of Congress clinched the Amethi seat by defeating the incumbent MP and Union Minister Smriti Irani. Notably, Smriti Irani has defeated Rahul Gandhi from this seat in 2019 election. Shashi Tharoor retained his Thiruvananthapuram seat in Kerala for a record fourth term, defeating BJP's Rajiv Chandrasekhar. And following Prime Minister Narendra Modi's election to the office for a third term, sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik congratulated the PM in his unique way. He created a sand art at Odisha's Puri which says, Congratulations, Modi ji. And World Environment Day is being celebrated globally to encourage awareness and action for the protection of the environment. To mark the occasion, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi planted a sapling initiating the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, that is, one tree in the name of Mother campaign at the Buddha Jayanti Park in Delhi. It is a one-of-its-kind mass movement to plant crores of trees across the country. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. NASA Boeing to make third attempt to launch Starliner into low Earth orbit on its groundbreaking first crewed mission. Indian cricket team will kick off their T20 World Cup campaign against Minos Island on Wednesday. And India celebrates the Festival of Democracy with great enthusiasm.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, US President Joe Biden announced new restrictions on Tuesday to deny the chance to claim asylum to migrants caught illegally crossing the US-Mexico border who could be quickly deported or turned back to Mexico. The new measures will take effect immediately and will have exceptions for unaccompanied children, people who face serious medical or safety threats, and victims of trafficking. Biden, a Democrat, has toughened his approach to border security as immigration has emerged as a top issue for Americans in the run-up to November 5th elections, where he will face Republican Donald Trump, who has vowed a wide-ranging crackdown if re-elected. And the Republican-led U.S. House of Representatives passed a legislation that would impose sanctions on the International Criminal Court over its prosecutors' decision to seek arrest warrants for Israeli officials in Gaza conflict. The vote was 247 to 155, with 42 Democrats joining Republicans in backing the measure. The legislation would impose sanctions on people involved in ICC prosecutions of Americans or citizens of U.S. allies that are not ICC members, including Israel. The legislation would impose sanctions on people involved in ICC prosecutions of Americans or citizens of U.S. allies that are not ICC members, including Israel. It also would block such ICC officials' entry to the United States, revoke any U.S. visas, and restrict them from U.S. property transactions. The White House last month criticized the ICC's decision to seek the warrants. And the criminal trial of Hunter Biden kicked off on Monday in federal court in Delaware as President Joe Biden's son faces gun charges in a historic case. It is the first trial of the child of a sitting U.S. president. Hunter Biden has pleaded not guilty to 3 felony charges accusing him of failing to disclose his use of illegal drugs when he bought a revolver and of illegally possessing the weapon for 11 days in October 2018. It is one of the 2 criminal cases he faces, with federal tax charges brought separately in California. The case began just 4 days after Donald Trump became the first former U.S. president to be convicted of a crime. And cellular outages were observed in parts of the United States on Tuesday. The Federal Communication Commission of the country has said that it is investigating why consumers in multiple U.S. states are unable to make wireless calls. American multinational telecommunication company AT&T said in a statement there is a nationwide issue that is affecting the ability of customers to complete calls between carriers. The carriers are working as quickly as possible to diagnose and resolve the issue. And in a first debate just weeks before a general election, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Labour challenger Keir Starmer went head-to-head on Tuesday over how to boost Britain's economy, with the PM accusing the opposition party of wanting to increase taxes if it wins power at the 4th July election. Both Sunak, a Conservative, and Starmer stuck to their campaign lines in their first debate. Opinion polls suggest Labour is set to win, with Sunak saying only he had a plan to spur Britain's paltry economic growth, and Starmer portraying the Conservatives as presiding over 14 years of economic chaos. In a heated debate, a recent feature in Britain and one which sees more voters tune into politics, the two leaders battled over how to tackle the cost of living crisis, growing waiting list in the public health service, and reducing the immigration. And NASA and Boeing are slated to make a third attempt on Wednesday at launching the Starliner spacecraft into low Earth orbit on its groundbreaking first crewed mission. The Starliner crew flight test carrying NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams is scheduled for liftoff at 10:52 a.m. EDT Wednesday from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. After taking flight from ULS base, Wilmore and Williams will head to the International Space Station to spend about a week aboard the microgravity laboratory. Crews scrubbed the first two Starliner launch attempts on May 6th and June 1st. The latter occurred with only 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the countdown. And the 31st edition of Index Dubai, a leading international exhibition for interior design, kicked off at the Dubai World Trade Center. India's take on the exhibit showcases the creativity and craftsmanship of Indian companies specializing in home decor, textiles and more. A total of 62 Indian exporters brought together by various authorities highlighted rich Indian legacy of art and culture. The three-day event has become a major event for interior design industry, offering experience of cutting-edge products. And on to sports news now. India will launch the T20 World Cup campaign against Ireland at the newly built Nassau County Cricket Stadium in New York. As the 2007 T20 champions, they aim for a strong start and to secure 2 points. Watch this special report by our correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya.
The Indian cricket team is all set to kick off their T20 World Cup campaign against Ireland. Both teams have played just one warm-up game each. India secured a convincing win over Bangladesh, while Ireland faced defeat at the hands of Sri Lanka. Rohit Sharma's Team India aims to start strong, while Ireland hopes to prove their mettle, having recently beaten Pakistan in a T20 international match.
You just have to play good cricket, as simple as that. We're not going to look into too much about what oppositions we are playing. It's for us, what is important is what we want to do as a team and do that well, whether it is batting, bowling and fielding.
Ireland has immersed itself in T20 actions over the past month in preparation for this competition.
For us, we don't need to spend mental energy on that, rather spend our mental energy on having clear plans, doing our preparation work and making sure that everyone's aware of how that could impact the game.
A key point of difference is India's bowling attack. If Jasprit Bumrah performs to his usual standards, Ireland's batter will face a tough challenge. Ireland, meanwhile, has been dealt a challenging opening fixture, but their recent win over Pakistan gives them hope. In the 7 India vs Ireland head-to-head meetings in T20 International, India holds a clear advantage, having won all the 7 fixtures against Ireland.
With a formidable lineup, India aims to start their T20 World Cup campaign on a high note, whereas Ireland will like to make the most of their chance against Men in Blue. With camera person S. Jaishankar, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for GD India from New York.
All right, as India counts over 640 million votes in the world's largest election, people and supporters of parties celebrated the victory. Take a look. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Well, let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.
Complex issue.